Hey kids, sit up and pay attention. It's time for Retrorific!
That's a good cup of joe.
Hello.
There's a long story behind that and we won't go into it.
It's a complicated in-joke. Hello everyone.
Good day everyone.
And welcome to Retrorific.
It's terrific.
This year being broadcast to you from the future space year 2010, which is a really unknown film. In fact, I probably would never have heard of it if my mother wasn't a fan of Arthur C. Clarke. Basically...
Always blame things like that on your mum.
Yeah, I blame a lot of things on my mother, including my many drug addictions and my crippling depression.
You always have his broken legs, but that one's going.
But yes, 2010, which is the sequel to the film 2001: A Space Odyssey by Stanley Kubrick.
The one moved one decimal place.
Yes. See what they did there? Yeah.
It's clever.
It's really unknown, and I don't know why, because, as you will attest, it's a really good film.
But the thing is, I can tell you exactly why.
Well, go on,
it's
why?
It's not ever going to be one of those films that you go, 2010, it's a cool movie, it's making a comeback. Because it is very slow paced. However, it has some great moments of tension, which remind me of just horror movies, really like just teenage jumpy movies. But I don't think you could ever have. I don't think it could ever be a big movie just because of how it's plotted and how it's paced. Not to say it's paced badly, but it's very slow.
It's not a blockbuster by any account, is it? No.
Which is kind of why it's one of those films that you can put on your coffee table and just go, yeah, if you've never heard of that, probably wouldn't get it.
It is up there with 2001 and Silent Running, which I haven't seen yet, but I really want to, and recently Moon, and it's that very sort of thoughtful sci-fi, and it's just so well done.
Yeah,
it's not just thoughtful sci-fi, but it's actually really epic. The story of it is it is about first contact. I'm not giving anything away by saying that because it's in the title, but.
It's hard to say what actually happens past what happens in the end. It's pretty much some scientists go in space. It's a Cold War drama, so obviously there's a patronising American and some taciturn Russians. In Mother Russia, space station become you.
That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Move past it.
Yeah. God, this has the creepiest looking scene that I've ever seen, and it involves a fetus.
But that is exactly the same fetus from 2001. So people who've seen 2001 will know the space fetus creature that appears at the end of the film.
But the thing is that there's one thing about like looking at a fetus floating around in space that I can deal with. There's one thing of it.
Just looks directly at you. Yeah.
The fetus is having a conversation. It just goes.
That is quite creepy. I get the feeling you're not taking this film seriously.
I am taking it seriously. It's got the guy from Sequest in it.
And it's got the guy from Third Rock from the Sun in it. Actually, no.
It's a makings for a perfect comedy film. Actually. It's got fetuses flying all over the place. It's got Roy Schneider.
Roy Scheider.
I can't pronounce his name. And Helen enjoying the weirdest French-Russian accent in the world.
John Lithgow being strangely subdued. It is really weird seeing him act so quiet. Like everything else that I've seen him in, he's just like.
Wait a second! I actually just realised who the fuck he was.
Yeah, he's the guy from Third Rock from the Sun. Did you not realise that while we were watching it?
They really doped him up well.
He is so quiet, isn't he? You just don't notice him almost.
Are you wearing that stupid hat the whole time as well? I forgot he was bald. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So. Back to the film.
It's really serious.
But serious in a good way. Serious in a just, you sit there and you go, oh wow, sci-fi. I love sci-fi. Why don't I watch more sci-fi?
And then you think, oh yeah, nothing's blown up yet. No, but the thing is, it never gets boring. There's some cringe-inducing dialogue right at the beginning.
Yeah, near the
Literally,
beginning, like, but all the stuff on Earth is very 80s, you know, especially the house that the main character lives in, and he's got fucking dolphins in his house.
And he has science fiction circular windows.
Yeah, circular windows.
So you know it's the future.
No, it's the future. Oh, there is one great sequence in it though that you really enjoy watching it, because I've seen it before, obviously, but when you were watching it just now, there was that one sequence that you really enjoyed when they're travelling between.
Did I?
When they're travelling between the two spaceships, remember? When they're floating from one ship.
Oh
to the
yeah,
other.
the little rig thing. I love that thing.
But just the when before they set up the
yes,
rig.
yeah. This is the first film that I've ever seen which actually really. There's obviously also like always like the whole threat of falling into this black oblivion of space, but dear God, this film has space vertigo.
Yeah.
You actually feel how epic and big space is, and the thing is, you do forget how. You take for granted science fiction these days.
Yeah.
You do. You just think, alright, I've seen that before.
Yeah.
This film does have a sense of wonder to it.
It does. It has that moment.
Which is a line that I got really pissed off with. If I hear someone say something wonderful anytime soon, I will actually have to bitch that.
Yeah, they say it. They do kind of drive home the point a bit. But
yeah. What the fuck's going to happen then?
But
something wonderful.
But it pays off in the end. It pays off in the end.
It's not that wonderful. It's pretty impressive. I love that, but it's not wonderful.
But yeah, no, I love that moment when they step out of the spaceship for the first time and they just sort of step out onto nothing, and they look down and there's a moon below them and Jupiter above them, and in both directions there's nothingness. Yeah. It's just, you really do get that sense of, oh shit, you know, if you go a little bit off course, you're just going to float forever into nothingness. And to be fair, I don't really have a huge amount more to say about this, just that I really like this film. It's so underrated, and like anyone who, you know, I wouldn't recommend this to the general population because I think a lot of people would be bored by this film. Yeah. But if you like science fiction and you just like watching films about scientists exploring space and crazy things happening, then this is a film for you. It is great, and it's got so much more plot in it than 2001.
Yeah.
2001 is just, it has no plot. It's just like one thing happens and it takes 3 hours for it to happen. But this film actually does have quite a lot going on in it. And you can watch it without knowing the first film.
I fell asleep halfway through 2001. I'm not saying it's not a great film, blah blah blah.
But it is very slow.
Yeah.
And also, but this film gives you all of the background that you need from the first film, so you don't need to have seen the first film to see this one. It works as a standalone film.
Although I find it very hard to believe that anyone who hasn't seen 2001 will, well, there'd be very few people like myself who haven't sat the whole way through for 2001 and would want to watch this. But, you know, just take this little leap of faith.
Yeah,
it's much more involving than 2001. Like I said, don't hate me for this, but it's very easy that if you're not paying it full attention, if you're not in the right mood with 2001, you can just slip off course and lose interest.
2001, I maintain that 2001 isn't a film. It's a 3-hour-long moving painting. It's an art piece. You know, it has very little story. It's all about the visuals and the concept.
Yeah.
Whereas this is much more of a film. It has a plot, it has characters, it has development, it has, you know,
definite beginning, middle and end.
Yeah, definite beginning, middle, end. A lot more dialogue, a lot more, just more stuff going on.
I think that's why. I mean, it's very difficult to call it a sequel.
Yeah, it is,
because it's not that massive a change of style, as you said.
They did a lot to sort of keep the style of 2001, the sort of the way that Kubrick does his shots, and, you know, keeping long takes and things like that.
But I think the fact that so many sequels just pick up where the last film left off and then kind of don't really finish it off. This has a definite kind of like beginning and finale, very definite finale.
Yeah.
You know, basically, you can do anything you want apart from that.
Yeah.
Which, you know, fair enough. But that's very rare with sequels these days, and maybe it's something Hollywood could learn a bit rather than fucking rebooting American Pie. Yeah, no. I know.
Is that actually happening? I think we'll end there.